You know that feeling when an organization, whether it's a local club or even a big company, just hits a wall? The energy sort of fizzles out, new ideas are hard to come by, and the old ways just aren't cutting it anymore. Well, what if the solution wasn't another painfully long meeting or some complex new strategy, but a game? Today we're going to look at a pretty brilliant approach from a Finnish Rotary club that did exactly that.
So, yeah, how do you reignite that spark? How do you bring an organization back to life? I mean, that's the question that keeps leaders up at night, right? The answer we're exploring today is not just surprisingly effective, it's also, believe it or not, genuinely fun.
All right, so before we get to the solution, let's really dig into the problem. And it's a problem that, let's be honest, most of us have probably seen firsthand at some point.
You know what I'm talking about, right? The activities start to feel a little stale. Fewer people are showing up and getting involved, and bringing in new folks feels like an uphill battle. Then there's that big annual strategy meeting. Yeah, that becomes this black hole where good ideas and all that initial enthusiasm just disappear. It's a classic story.
Okay, so now let's jump over to Finland, where Rotary District 1410 decided to flip their strategic planning completely on its head. They did something totally different. They turned the entire process into a game. And the results were, well, a total game changer.
Okay, so it's called Jäsenyspeli, which, thankfully for us, translates to the membership game. And its whole purpose is to tackle those three huge challenges: getting new members, making activities exciting again, and just generally improving the whole experience for everyone. So, yeah, it's a game, but its mission is absolutely serious.
So the whole thing is built around this super simple deck of cards. You've got your yellow cards, and those set the goals. Then the blue cards, those are your actions. And the black cards, they're wild cards. They throw in a little twist. Oh, and they even threw in blank cards so you can come up with your own brilliant ideas. It's basically a whole strategic toolkit right there in a tiny box.
All right, so you're probably wondering, how does this thing actually work? Let's break down how you play, and you'll see it's surprisingly simple, but really powerful.
It really boils down to just 3 simple steps in each round. First, the whole team picks 1 yellow goal card. That's your focus. Second, you pick a handful of blue action cards, like 2 to 5 of them that you think will help you hit that goal. And finally, for a little bit of fun, you draw one of those black pilot cards to shake things up.
And this right here, this is maybe the most important rule of the whole game. Focus on only one goal at a time. I mean, think about it. This is just brilliant psychology. The game deliberately stops you from getting overwhelmed with a massive to-do list, which is what usually happens, right? Instead of having a million half-finished ideas, you make real, tangible progress on one important thing. That laser focus is what makes this whole system actually work.
You know, coming up with ideas, that's the fun part. It's actually the easy part. The real trick, the hard part, is turning those ideas into something real. And honestly, this is where the membership game just completely nails it. Because, here's the thing, the game isn't over just because you've picked your cards. Nope. The next step is where all that fun conversation turns into actual commitment. And this is the secret weapon, the action tracking form. This is the bridge that takes you from just playing a game to actually making progress. Every single action you choose gets its own line, and look at this. It's got everything. Who's in charge? What's the deadline? What resources do you need? So that idea of hosting a guest speaker isn't just an idea floating around anymore. No, it's a real task with Jane Doe's name on it and a hard deadline. This is what real accountability looks like. And keeping track of it all couldn't be easier. They use a simple traffic light system that everyone instantly gets. Green for done, yellow for in progress, and red for delayed. It's so simple, so visual. No need for complicated project management software. Everyone can see exactly where things stand at a glance. Okay, but wait, there's another layer to this. There's kind of this secret engine built right into the game. A quality control check that makes sure your ideas aren't just fun, but are actually going to be effective. See, before any action officially makes it onto that tracking sheet, it has to pass what they call the 4-point check. This is so smart. It's a simple little test that forces you to ask, is this idea just fun, or is it actually going to make a real difference for us?
First up is impact. Basically, is this action really going to move the needle? So let's say your idea is a community fundraiser. The question isn't just, will we raise money? It's, will this measurably boost our reputation in the community? It's the ultimate so what test for any idea.
Next, you have reach. Is this action going to help you break out of your current bubble? Will it connect you with totally new people?
For example, starting a podcast might seem like a lot of work, but if it gets you in front of a whole new audience of potential members, well, that's huge. This is all about growth.
Number 3 is engagement. This one looks inward. Is this action going to get our current members more excited, more involved? Maybe you create a mentorship program for new people. If that drastically cuts down on how many people leave in their first year, then that's a massive win. This is about making your core community stronger.
And last but not least, adapt. Does this action make our group more resilient, better able to roll with the punches? For instance, building a really good website might not sound super exciting, but it could be the one thing that lets you pivot to virtual events in a crisis. It's all about future-proofing your organization.
So when you put it all together, what do you have? You have this one, single, really elegant process. It takes you all the way from just playfully tossing ideas around to having a concrete plan with accountability baked in at every single step.
And when you compare it to the old way of doing things, wow, the difference is night and day. You're swapping out those long, soul-crushing meetings for focused, fun play. You're turning vague, fuzzy goals into actual, concrete actions. And you're replacing that who's doing this again feeling with crystal clear responsibilities.
You know, the creators of the game said it best themselves. They said it's a tool to make club development inspiring and concrete. And that's it right there. That combination of inspiring and concrete is what makes this a real game changer.
So I think the biggest lesson here is that the most serious, important work we do doesn't always have to feel so serious. This membership game is perfect proof that sometimes the most powerful breakthroughs can start from a place of simple, honest-to-goodness play. And that really leaves all of us with a final question to chew on. It doesn't matter if you're part of a tiny club, a startup trying to grow, or even a huge company. Maybe, just maybe, it's time to cancel that next big strategy meeting and instead ask yourself, could our next big idea come from a game?